Booyah, back at you, Motivation Motives, where we speak to inspirational Black people who've overcome adversity and root the prosperity. You got your boy, Quan Jizzy. What up, Queen? What up, what up?
Hey.
Yes. Yeah. How you been, first and
Like,
foremost? How's everything? How's everything on your side of town in the motherland?
everything's good. I'm chilling. I'm recording a podcast from home and didn't feel like laying my edges headband on. So I'm like, I'm really chilling.
Good. That's what I'm talking about. You
Yes.
look good too. You look
Thank
good.
you. Thank you.
Yo, it's crazy, man. I don't know what to say about 2020 and 2021, man. It's been crazy for Black people specifically. We got another devastating story to speak about. Also happening in Minneapolis, you know, the place where George Floyd was assassinated.
Mm.
We're going to speak about a 20-year-old man, God bless the dead, Daunte Wright. And let's just show the clip so the audience can see what we want to allude to.
Outrage and frustration in Brooklyn Center, Minnesota, with crowds gathering in protests of the death of Daunte Wright, an officer shooting the 20-year-old during a traffic stop Sunday. Police say they were attempting to arrest the man after determining he had outstanding warrants and he got back into his car.
One officer had fired a weapon, striking the driver. The vehicle continued and eventually crashed, and medical resources were then deployed to the scene to aid the people in both the vehicle that was crashed into and the original group. The driver of the vehicle was deceased.
Authorities say Wright died at the scene of the crash, his mother arriving there after the incident, saying he called her when he was pulled over shortly before 2 p.m.
Said he was getting pulled over by the police. And I said, well, why did you get pulled over? He said they pulled him over because he had air fresheners hanging from the rearview mirror.
According to Brooklyn Center Police, both body cameras and dash cameras were activated during the shooting. Evidence investigators will now use to help determine what happened.
It's an open investigation, and it's too early for us to be able to make any real comment on it.
Tension growing in the city overnight. Officers deploying tear gas on protesters outside the Brooklyn Center Police Department. In anticipation of more unrest today, the state deploying more law enforcement officials in the greater Minneapolis area.
What you will see is a greater law enforcement presence, a greater National Guard presence.
Okay.
Crazy. This is the same state where Derek the dickhead, the cop that killed George Floyd, where he's being put on trial. And I'm still I understand the judiciary system. What they said, innocent for proven guilty. Well, we know that doesn't,
That's
apply
not
to us
true.
Black people.
Mm-hmm.
We know that doesn't apply to us. Before we get to Daunte, right? Why does Derek, why does he get a trial? He obviously killed this man in broad daylight.
Yes.
How? I understand legally why he gets a trial. But shouldn't it be open and shut? Shouldn't be like, yo, we see the tape.
Like we all
Done.
watched it. We all watched what happened. The world saw what happened. So, I mean, fine. You have to get your due process. You have to go through trial, blah, blah, blah. But when it comes down to conviction, it needs to be swift and it needs to be simple.
Absolutely. And if Derek the dead if charges are dropped, if he's found not guilty, they're gonna get busy in Minneapolis.
Oh my gosh. Can you imagine if he's acquitted of this crime? It was caught on camera, bro. It was caught on camera. If he's acquitted, that would be insane.
I wouldn't be surprised. You know what I mean? What about the young man? I don't know if I think that was the cat guy that was assassinated in the car with his baby in the back car, with his girl on the side of him. That was on camera. Let's not forget George Psycho Man Zimmerman that blazed my man Trayvon Martin. Oh man, sad. There's too many names to even come out and speak about. But Daunte Wright, 2 days ago, He's driving down the highway. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to sit here and say he was a model citizen because he did have outstanding warrants. The outstanding warrants were for possession of a firearm, an unlicensed firearm, which leads me to believe, and I don't know if maybe Queen P, we could look this up, because in New York, we can't get licensed firearms. That's impossible.
What?
Almost.
Are you serious?
I can't go there and say I want no, unless I am a law enforcement officer or in some type of law enforcement capacity. I cannot become a licensed gun owner. You understand?
Yeah.
Maybe in the state of Minneapolis, you can, because they stipulate that he had possession of an unlicensed firearm. That makes me believe that, see, in New York, if I get locked up for a gun, that's it.
Right.
It can't be licensed unless I am a police officer or a law enforcement person. Understand? Right. So he got arrested for. Now this is the thing about it. He got it gave him a bench warrant for this, meaning he got a summons for this unlicensed firearm. They probably took it from him and gave him the summons. You understand? Yeah. He didn't show up in court. Okay, when you don't show up in court, which we'll speak about, you have a warrant for your arrest. It doesn't matter how petty the crime is, okay? Yeah. It don't matter how big the crime is either. If you don't show up for court, you have a warrant for your arrest. If they catch you for something else, you're going to jail. So they stopped homeboy because I don't know why they stopped him. They say
expired registration.
They said that?
His tags, his tags on his car were expired.
Okay, so they had a reason to stop him. No problem. They stopped homeboy. Homeboy wouldn't. He wouldn't get out the car? Homeboy was afraid for his life.
Yes. He got out the car and they started to handcuff him, right? And then he tried to jump back in the car, which caused the tussle, which caused them to kind of struggle.
And we going, you know what? We going to show. Can we show that piece of that tussle? Let's show them what the viewers what we talking about. He gets out the car. They attempt to handcuff him and handcuff him, and then this is what happens.
And there you go.
Okay, so the police officer says that she was going to tase him. Okay, now your taser and your gun are on two different sides of your belt. Okay, but she forgot which side of her belt her taser was on, and she grabbed the gun. Like my wife said when I mentioned this to my wife, she said it's crazy because isn't there a safety on your gun?
Training.
So your gun and your taser looks exactly the same, feels the same in your palm?
It shouldn't. Though a taser, a police issued taser does have the handle and the
grip.
Trigger. Yes, it has the grip and the trigger.
I had no idea of that. So she used the wrong one and she shot homeboy.
Like, there's a difference between a taser and a gun. All right. So we know that a police issued taser has the same grip and trigger as a gun, right? So I get that, okay, maybe it might feel the same in your hand, though I think the grip on a taser would be a little bigger than a gun. But all right, fine, you feel that way. But I feel like The gun is in front of you. This is a body cam, so we can see what's happening in front of you. So if I'm holding something here, my eyes is not gonna take a look at, oh, this is a gun. This is a gun right here, and you're gonna pull the trigger of a taser without being sure that it's gonna hit him. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like there was just way too much carelessness, even if it was a mistake. Even if it truly was a mistake, there was way too much carelessness with this. And this is why I feel like there's not enough police training.
It's not.
There's
And
not.
I want to second that. And on top of the police training, in my opinion, which is never going to happen, that they should give police officers yearly psychological evaluations.
That's real.
Okay? One every year. But you know what? They can't do that because 40 to 50% of them are going to be found to be psychologically disabled. Mm-hmm. If you do that, you have to fire him.
Right. But the fact that
you have just disarmed the police force by doing that. So that's not going to happen.
No, it's not. That's not going to happen. They're never going to let that happen.
You know what I mean? And I don't think that this woman was psychologically disabled. I don't think she has a problem. I think she just was so afraid because he was a young Black guy with the warrant. Mm-hmm. Red flag, he must be Charles Manson. Right. Mm-hmm. Jeffrey Dahmer.
Like, was there even a need to tase him? Like, that's what James and I were kind of discussing. Was there, sure, number one, he screwed up. Like, bruh, why are you trying to get away? You already know just being pulled over, your life is in danger. So why would you make a move that would
he made a couple of wrong decisions. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna give you a few stories that's gonna piggyback off what you just said. You're right. He screwed up. Doesn't mean that he need to be killed for it, but in this day and time, you can be. He made a couple of wrong decisions. My son, number one. I'm gonna give you two wrong decisions that he made that is comparable to this kid right here. Okay, my son, he was about 19 at this time, and he wasn't in school, he wasn't working, and me and him, we was kind of having a discrepancy on the way he was living his life. Okay, so I let him know, yo, I'm not going to support you, and you're not doing nothing. You understand? If you go to school, I will support you with the book monies, the food monies, the transportation monies. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You're my son. I love you. I want to see you successful. Even if you get a job, let's say in between checks, you don't got no money, I'll hold you down. Mm-hmm. I'll give you money, you know what I mean, to hold you down until you get your check. Cool. All right, my son goes out here and finds himself a job. One of the last 25 that he's had for a month. My son has had many jobs for a month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. So he's found a job. Whoop-de-doo. Okay. So he got this job, and lo and behold, 3 months before this, my son was caught driving without a driver's license. Okay. And in the state of Virginia, they take driving without your license. It's harsh. It's a harsh offense because a lot of people die from vehicular manslaughter by way of intoxication. Right. A lot of people drive drunk down there, so they take this seriously, driving without license or driving drunk. He got caught without his license. My son is in the criminal. This is his this is a run-in he had, not a first run-in, but he doesn't have any felonious run-ins. Cop said, okay, I'm gonna give you this like they did with Homeboy. I'm gonna give you this summons, get to court. All right. So his court date was 3 months from then, whatever. And but in between that 3 months, he had got this job a week or so before his court date. I don't know if he forgot. I don't know if mom ain't tell him. I was oblivious to everything that was going on at the time. I live in a whole different state. Long story short, his first day of work was his court date. Miss Portia was thinking. And what did Quan John Jr., what did he choose to do?
Not go to court.
Go to work. Wrong move. Okay, this was a Friday. So on Monday morning, they live in a little rural town too. It's not like New York where it's hard to find you. You understand? Their town is comprised of only 14,000 people. It's easy to find you. Okay. So they came and knocked on Quan John Jr.'s ex-wife's house. Hey, is Quan John Jr. here? Yeah, he's right here. He's getting dressed for work. Whoa, he ain't going to work today. And he got arrested
Oh.
because of a simple bench warrant, comparable to Homeboy. Homeboy didn't go to his court appearance. He got a warrant. Now, lo and behold, his offense was more extreme than my son. My son was just driving without a license. His was having a gun without a license. You understand? No matter, you still going to jail. Period.
Right.
No matter. You still. So he gets arrested. Okay. All right. He gets arrested. I didn't bail him out because I'm like, so you actively didn't go to court. Now on the paperwork, I'm getting to my points too. But the paperwork, I told his son's mother, send me the paperwork that they gave him when he got this summons. On the paperwork, it says trial, checked off trial. So he blew trial in the court's eyes.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? All right. Long story short, he gets out. I don't know who bailed him out. Somebody did. It wasn't gonna be his father because he got himself into that mess. I had bailed him out before for another offense, but that's neither here nor there. So fast forward a year, last year, the day before his 21st birthday, the day before is my son's birthday on April 6th. On April 5th, my son calls his baby mother. She's at work where he's supposed to be. Understand? He cleaning the car and she at work, but that's another issue. Crazy. He at work outside shining his car. You know what I mean? Because he doesn't have a job and he doesn't have anything else to do. He's shining his car. He has a vintage Cadillac. Now, there's a backstory. Now, hold up. Now, this is a backstory behind his Cadillac. He had just got the Cadillac. His birthday is in April, so this is tax season. So with him and his baby mother, what they did was they went out here and bought themselves 2 cars with their tax return.
Okay.
You only have one licensed driver. Why do you need 2 cars? But now what Quan Jr. does, he goes out here and he trades one of the vehicles in for another vehicle. Okay. I'm like, okay, you traded.
Okay.
He traded the vehicle that he traded in. It is insured. It's registered. Everything. Has all tags, stickers, everything. You know what I mean? He trades that in for this vintage Cadillac that is uninsured, unregistered, with 30-day tags.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
No. That's
straight up.
That's that black mentality that we need to
all
get
right,
out.
now I portion, so check it. He takes the car home, no problem. You could do it. Well, I would respect you if you even had a license, but you don't have a license, so I don't even respect you. So he takes the car home and he shines it. Nice car too. He's shining it, buffing it. It's a nice Saturday, sunny outside. They have a convenience store that's roughly, if I was going to walk to the convenience store, it would probably take me 2 minutes to walk to. Maybe 2 minutes. Quan John Jr. decides to get in his car and drive to the convenience store because he wants to show off the car.
Yeah.
He wants to blast his music and show the car off. That's what he wants to do. He gets in the car, he's probably stunting. He only going a half a block away. He's stunting. He gets to the corner and he gets to the corner and he has to make a right inside of the parking lot of the store. He's still on the same block of his mother's house.
Okay.
But he has to make the right inside the parking lot to go into the convenience store. He notices a cop car on his left. It's on the cross street. Okay. It's at the cross street, and he makes eye contact. You know who that guy is? It's the same guy that gave him the bench warrant.
Oh.
The same guy that gave him the summons initially 3 months ago. Okay. So he turns into the parking lot, probably whistling. I can't whistle. I never learned how to whistle.
Oh.
I never learned how to whistle. So he gets out the car. The cop pulls behind him. He attempts to go into the store. The cop says, "Hey, come here." He walks over to him. Cop says, "I know you don't have a license." Okay. This is how small the town is. I know you, man. He says, "I know you don't have a license." And it seems like this car is unregistered too. So this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna get back in this car right now. I'm gonna go to my police car and I'll be right back. Okay? So Quan John Jr. gets in the police car. He's in the police car for about 2, maybe 3 minutes, and now he has this genius idea. You know what? I'm gonna get out and tell him my story and tell him, "Hey, I live right up the block. I just came to get a soda because I don't drink, and I'm going to go right back home if you allow me to. And he gets out of the car.
No.